Now listen, I am Christoph Gons. I am a filmmaker. Let's say that your game had a story, and I have a story, and I adapt your work. It's a film, you see. But wouldn't that make... Shut up. And my version reaches across the room and starts to drink your story. I ruin your narrative. I fucked it up! But all you did was ruin your career! Return to Silent Hill is the third movie in the Silent Hill film franchise. A film franchise that, in my opinion, shouldn't exist.
I don't want to live.
With that being said, my knowledge is very limited. I saw like half of the first one once and got really bored and then turned it off, so... This new movie, though, interested me. Well, okay, maybe not interested is the right word. More like, existentially dread. Because Silent Hill 2, one of my favorite games of all time, period, is a whole different beast. Not only is this a very well crafted but very, very dark exploration of guilt and trauma. One that remains tasteful, sure, but as you know, does not fuck around with its subject matter. But the way it explores those themes is very much central to it being a video game, with most of the horror being very subtle but also just kind of fucking with the player. And that's on top of multiple endings based on how you play the game. The game uses multiple endings not to have some kind of a choice system, but rather to ask you the game's central theme. What do you do with guilt? I've already made a full Silent Hill video, mostly on the remake, but also kind of on the original. If you haven't seen it, I recommend that you do. And if you haven't played Silent Hill 2 or the surprisingly great Bloober Team remake, what the fuck are you doing? Get on that ASAP. But adapting Silent Hill 2 into a non-interactive medium would be removing a big part of it. I don't think it's impossible. I mean, the entirety of Silent Hill itself, the franchise, is influenced by Jacob's Ladder, a movie that is not interactive. But I also think that in order to adapt the horror of Silent Hill, the idea of fucking with your audience, you need like a total art house weirdo, like a Gaspar Noé or a Panos Cosmatos. Like the kind of guy who makes a shit like this. But that's the thing, when you make a Silent Hill movie, you have to realize what kind of movie it would be. And that's on top of needing a great understanding of Silent Hill 2 in the first place. Sadly though, self-proclaimed mega fan and director Christoph Gons and his producer are kind of fucking
At its core, it's also the idea of the myth of Orpheus.
What? No, it isn't!
Are we saying to go back to Silent Hill to find this great love?
Of course, my favorite love story. Killing my wife! DJ White Killer! I'm also a big fan of my no Mark Wahlberg whatsoever story. Ted 2. But look, let's stop being mean here. Video game adaptations have grown a lot. We've gotten The Last of Us Season 1, and... So the question of how do you adapt a work like Silent Hill 2 is still lingering in the air, ready to be answered. The answer is you don't even fucking try. Before I jump in and harm my mental safety though, I'm gonna talk about online safety. You've probably heard about VPNs before, those things that mask your IP address. But why in the world would you ever need one? Well, let's say you're on public Wi-Fi, just minding your own business. Except most public Wi-Fis are littered with security risks. Or maybe you want to watch your favorite movie, but it's censored and or unavailable in your country. No matter what it is, browsing the internet is like Silent Hill itself. It's just a really dangerous place. Thankfully though, Surfshark VPN can come in clutch. By encrypting your online information, Surfshark can protect you and shield you from all kinds of threats and online issues. You can cut through price discrimination, cut through geo-locked content, cut through people hacking you at your local Starbucks. Surfshark also does not log your activity either, so you can bet privacy is a priority. They also got other products too, like Surfshark Antivirus, which can also protect you from that nasty malware. If that all sounds good to you, well, guess what? It gets even better, because I got a deal for y'all. Go to the link below at surfshark.com/Dumbsville, or use the code Dumbsville at checkout to get 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN. So what are you waiting for? Protect your online security today. Let's begin with the absolute hardest thing to fuck up in Silent Hill 2, the opening. James looks at himself in the mirror. He puts a hand over his face. He walks outside. We hear Mary's voice.
In my restless dreams, I see that town.
Then we hear James reminiscing about her, setting up the atmosphere and narrative so perfectly.
This whole town was our special place. Does she mean the park on the lake?
This opening is iconic, it's perfect, and doesn't need any kind of changing. It's haunting, but also intimate and even a little sweet. It sets James up as this depressed and introverted normal dude, and naturally, the film adaptation opens with a guy smoking weed and driving his Mustang with sunglasses on. Whoa, dude, what a badass fucking rocker, man!
You don't listen to music.
Red, you gotta listen to punk. I even took a walk this morning.
Who the fuck even is this random fucking dude?
I'm James, by the way.
Who the fuck is Giga Nick?
Prepare to see this clip a lot, by the way. That's James Sunderland? No fucking shot. Let's just break this one down. First of all, he's not even blonde. Secondly, James Sunderland never had any kind of beard on his face. Thirdly, what the fuck is this guy wearing? What part of you went, yeah, you know what James Sunderland needs? Some change! Yeah! This dude is not James Sunderland. This is fucking, like, White Destroy Lonely.
Destroy Lonely.
He looks like the singer of a Christian rock group.
This is how we testify.
We haven't even started the fucking movie yet, by the way. Also, for some reason, he's a painter now. This adds absolutely nothing to his character, of course. This is like making a Metroid movie and having Samus Aran work at, like, McDonald's. But, like, back to the movie, I guess. So the first scene is not the iconic opening from Silent Hill 2, but rather showing how a weed-smoking James met Mary, his wife. So on top of ruining the intro, they also ruin the mystery of the game too. But maybe I can kind of accept the movie shitting all over its source material immediately if the movie is at the very bare minimum least written well.
Well, I'm officially an asshole.
Sadly, it's not written very well. So what happens is Mary is a woman on her way to the city. She's also apparently a woman who leaves her luggage in the middle of the road, despite there being multiple benches and like bus stops in the area. James, meanwhile, if you can call him that, crashes into her luggage by accident, causing her to miss her bus. Oh no! James and Mary then hit it off. The issue is, I'm not sure the two actually like each other.
You nearly run me down and now you're giving me a hard time.
Shit, sorry.
Didn't Richard Linklater figure this one out in the 90s? The scene acts more kind of like exposition for the movie, explaining things like the Lakeview Hotel is indeed a hotel called the Lakeview.
That's the Lakeview. It's a hotel.
Wow, it sure was worth it cutting out Silent Hill 2's iconic intro for this. But then suddenly a storm hits and we get the funniest jump scare ever made.
Silent Hill Summer Storm.
Golden Labubu. Giving me straight teeth.
James then wakes up in a bar, and poor guy's going through it drinking regular beer. Now, James struggling with alcoholism is something that's implied in the remake. Once. Thankfully, though, the movie is sure to show off James getting in bar fights, complete with some really weird first-person shot. Christoph, you know that Silent Hill 2 is a third-person game, right? Also, what the fuck is Silent Hill 2 about this scene, period? Did you make the Max Payne 3 movie by accident or something? Oh boy, can't wait to watch Christoph Gahn's Astrobot movie. Is that meant to be Astrobot? Anyways, James is kicked out of the bar and he gets a call from his therapist. Yes, apparently James Sunderland has a therapist. If I told you this did not in fact add anything, would you believe me? James then goes home and stares at a painting that he made of Mary. Oh wow, it looks like Maria from Silent Hill. This foreshadows that Maria might not be a real person, even though we haven't met her yet. But then James sees a letter from Mary. It just kind of appears out of nowhere. You see, that's why Silent Hill 2 doesn't add that kind of thing, because you don't need to know this shit. Otherwise, you start asking continuity questions like, who delivered this goddamn letter? This entire prologue is essentially fluff, and why it's in the movie despite being a fucking brain-dead creative choice is just beyond me. It's so brain-dead, I started wondering if Flight Reacts made this fucking movie.
He was actually born in the same hospital as LeBron in Akron, Ohio.
Really?
Steph was making
No way! So LeBron and Curry are related?
Okay, but finally, James gets that iconic letter from Mary. And we all know how it goes. In my restless dream.
James, so much time has passed.
No, it starts off with, in my restless dream.
But I'm asking, I'm begging you to please come back.
No, you are going way off script here.
Something's happened. Please, James, I need you. Love, Mary.
Nah, bitch, you ain't say all that. Stop fucking getting off script, you fat ass. Stop fucking playing with me, bro.
Anyway, so finally, James drives to Silent Hill, and we get the intro to the game 11 minutes into the fucking movie.
It's always been her.
My name is Jay McCarroll. But right now, I'm the pedophile who has been terrorizing the school.
Of course, it's furthermore not actually the beginning of the game, but rather just some shots that look like it. Because, you know, why would you want to actually adapt the game, you know? Man, nothing says a creepy walk to Silent Hill like a gentle park stroll. Anyway, so we're at the graveyard here, where James meets... Oh, God. The thing is, I trust Christoph Gans with a character like Angela about as much as I trust Jeffrey Epstein with babysitting my children. I'm proud to announce, then, that things go wrong by, like, the first second she's on screen.
Grab a bag.
What? Almost immediately, Angela trusts James with anything, to which she just starts yapping exposition about Silent Hill for no reason. This is an extreme contrast to the original game, where Angela, a victim of things YouTube will demonetize me for if I talk about, is relatively apprehensive and vague and untrustworthy of James for very good reason. Meanwhile, in this shitty fucking movie,
You don't find who you're looking for. You can always come back and find me.
what the fuck is this crackhead bitch talking about? Is Angela hitting on James here? That's pretty fucking gross considering the subject matter. We also randomly get this first flashback in the movie, which I think is meant to deepen James and Mary's relationship. Of course, it doesn't actually and just fucks up the pacing, but you know, at least the guys behind your mom's favorite Hallmark show are getting paid. So finally, we're in Silent Hill. I'm shivering in my boots right now, with James walking around like he's just kind of fucking stupid. What is this weird place, man? Which misses the point that James is meant to be, like, dead inside. You know, nothing quite says James Sunderland like a guy screaming for help. Hello? Yeah, now that's the James Sunderland I know. Not the guy so depressed he barely has any self-preservation left. Suddenly, though, James hears a radio, which for some reason is playing the song Air on the G-String by Bach. Thankfully, I can play it in the background for you because it's public domain. Fans of the channel might know it as the one part I played during my mental breakdown in my Clone High video, which was a reference to the anime Neon Genesis Evangelion.
I can't believe that they expect me to fight in this thing without Spotify.
Which also includes the song Air on the G-String in the film at the end of Evangelion. And like the massive tangent I just went on, this song has nothing to do with Silent Hill 2. And yet for some reason it plays multiple times in the movie. Thank you, Christoph Gans. James then gets jump scared by a random homeless guy.
Coming back. Who the fuck is Giga Nick?
Who the fuck is this guy? Why is he in the movie? What does he add? We are 20 minutes into the movie and I am already convinced that we should nuke France. James then gets a call from his therapist. Apparently, James's iPhone works in Silent Hill, to which he tells her that he's in Silent Hill.
I'm in Silent Hill.
I'm going to fucking kill myself. Thank you, Christoph Gans, for turning James Sunderland into a generic horror protagonist. James then sees Heaven's Night, which in the game is a crusty-ass strip club. This, alongside the introduction of the character of Maria, who implies that she works there even though she isn't real, which is the point, introduces the player to the more psychosexual themes of Silent Hill 2. Of course, though, the movie can't fucking do anything right, indicated by another jarring flashback, where it's revealed that James has been to Heaven's Night, and it's actually a fucking high-class club for some reason, where it's revealed that Mary Shepard Sunderland is no longer Mary Shepard Sunderland, but now her name is Mary Crane, and her dad is the guy who built Silent Hill.
Mary's family. They built this town.
God damn it, can this movie do anything right? James then walks outside and is chased by monsters, which just kind of turns into a generic action chase sequence. I mean, look at this shot here. He looks like Leon S. Kennedy, not James Sunderland. And check out this incredible audio direction. So Silent Hill.
For a place called Silent Hill, this sure is the loudest fucking place on the face of the earth.
James is then chased by roaches who stick their tongues out when they die. You know, I think Christoph Gans is adapting the wrong game here. I think Fahrenheit Indigo Prophecy is more of his style. Or any David Cage game, really, for that matter.
Hi.
My name is David Cage.
There's also a jump scare with Mary covered in the hyper-realistic blood. Wow, this is so fucking Silent Hill, isn't it? You ever think, like, one day you're going to die and leave behind a legacy? Because I sure hope that doing this to Silent Hill isn't my legacy. We then get another flashback right after the fucking Jeff the Killer Screamer here. And it shows us what every Silent Hill fan has always wanted to see. James and Mary moving into their fucking apartment. So after more horror, if you want to call it that, I tell you the real horror is watching this movie. Oh, hey, check it out. It's the part with Mary's dress. Except this time there's a flashback to tell you that it is indeed Mary's dress. This is in contrast to the original game, which doesn't do that. You know, for a town called Silent Hill, it sure does suck at subtlety. And then right after this, I shit you not, we get a second flashback right after this. Christoph Gans, I think you played the wrong game. Metal Gear Solid 4 is that way.
Hold it, Sam. Is this turning into one of those shows where we sit around and reminisce, thereby recouping 80% of the episode cost via the use of clips and archive footage?
Yes, it is, Max. Now stop talking, stupid. It's costing money.
This might be one of the worst paced films I have ever seen, if not the worst. You have all these super dark, creepy, or attempting at it horror moments, just suddenly brickwalled by the sitcom lighting flashback scene. Man, I wonder why the original game didn't do this. What a disrespect of that game's storytelling, man. But even more disrespectful is what's in this flashback. Because turns out, those guys in the club, they're part of a cult, and Mary is part of the cult? You know, like, one of the most unique things about Silent Hill 2 was that it wasn't about a cult, right? And after this, we get another totally in-character James Sunderland line.
Okay. What the fuck was that?
Oh, hey, I didn't know Vivian Madrano was on the writing team. Anyways, this whole conflict is, like, over in 2 seconds anyways.
But they just showed up? 20 people just showed up? Again? They're fucking weird, Mary.
Marriage Story, this absolutely is not. Cut back to Silent Hill. So we finally get something from the games. James meets Eddie.
What the fuck? Who the hell are you?
Who the fuck is Giga Nigga?
Who the hell is this guy? You know what? I'm happy for Jack Black. I'm glad he's getting more work nowadays. So apparently, this is Eddie, despite the fact that he looks nothing like Eddie, aside from being overweight. So fuck it, this is Maria because I said so, I guess.
No one could get their ass in gear to react in time. Poor fucks.
Oh, hey, I didn't know Vivian Madrano was also literally only in this scene. That's right. He comes in, spouts some fucking exposition, and then leaves. The entire Eddie subplot has been gutted out of the movie. And the Eddie subplot is not some optional thing either. No, it's central to the game's themes. But now, all of that has been removed, and Eddie is just some guy that shows up. How does this fucking happen?
Look at that. You're all fucked up like everyone else.
Oh, hey, I didn't know Vivian Madrano. We're also introduced to Laura, in which the film does one cool thing, which is actually hiring the actress from the remake of the game to reprise her role as Laura. Sadly, though, they couldn't help themselves and butchered her character anyways. Because instead of being a little girl who was annoying and bratty intentionally, which differentiated her from not being a generic creepy little girl, Laura in the film adaptation is just a creepy little ghost girl. I think there's no line more un-Laura than telling James straight up, I'm Laura.
I'm Laura.
Again, did you even play the fucking game?
What's a big dum-dum like you doing here anyway?
I feel really bad for the actress. She's clearly very young, but also very talented. And I think Christoph Gans should be charged with child abuse for putting a girl this young in a movie this bad. Pray for the victims of Return to Silent Hill. Pyramid Head then shows up, and it's of course way less scary than the original game. But at this point, by the way, not even the halfway point, I've given up entirely. James is then chased by a giant CGI spider monster. But then Pyramid Head randomly beats it up like he does the mannequins in the original game. Which my question is just, why the fuck is there a giant spider in this movie? Comparing this to the original Silent Hill 2 is like watching Nicolas Cage talk about the Flash movie.
What I was supposed to do was literally just be standing in an alternate dimension, if you will, and witnessing the destruction of the universe. And you can imagine with that short amount of time that I had, what that would mean in terms of what I can convey. I had no dialogue, convey with my eyes the emotion.
She died because she was sick.
I killed her.
You said you took everything.
But you forgot that videotape we made. I wonder if it's still there.
I'm sorry. I am so sorry.
I wanted you out of the way. I wanted my life back.
James, if that were true, then why do you look so sad?
When I went to the picture, it was me fighting a giant spider.
Then some shit happens, I don't know, it's kind of incoherent, and not in a good way like the original game was either. Shit just kind of happens. It's like watching an execution of all your favorite artistic moments from the original. And next on the chopping block is the Angela mirror knife scene. It's like anti-nostalgia. You don't want to see your favorite shit in this. So Angela, who's no longer lethargic and now very violent for some reason, tells James he'll never see Mary and then yells at him to leave. There's no implications of self-harm or depression or foreshadowing like in the original scene. They just turned Angela into an obstacle to taunt James. Which, knowing the context of the original character, I have to say, this is artistically fucking vile. We then get that brick wall scene of James and Laura, which is equally just as out of character.
Catch me!
What? Imagine someone watching this movie then playing the games and being like, what the fuck?
You didn't love Mary anyway.
Wait! How do you know Mary's name?
You're a pussy.
Also, apparently, Laura can see the monsters now.
He's crawling on the ground.
Who was?
A monster.
Even though she couldn't in the original game, and that was the point. It's heavily implied, not just in Silent Hill 2, but in the whole series, that every character sees Silent Hill differently. And in Silent Hill 2, since Laura is a 6-year-old girl with zero guilt, it's very heavily implied that Laura sees the town as just a normal town. So, you know, good job on not actually adapting the fucking game!
Show me your doll.
SpongeBob, Bikini Bottom on Tony Hawk.
What did you just say?
Got the Krusty Krab down there, you feel me? Krabby Patty.
Up next on Christoph Gahn's Artistic Guillotine is Maria. Oh god, the film's adapting Maria next. So first of all, Rosewater Park is no longer an actual park by the lake. Now it's a fucking maze. Why? I don't know. You know, I feel like if Christoph Gans went to the store to buy some bread, he would somehow get all the way home with a brand new Porsche 911 instead. Anyway, so Maria just kind of shows up out of nowhere.
I've been watching you.
Yeah, really, that's her entrance. It's kind of abrupt and has very little impact, which is really weird since Maria is one of the most important characters in the narrative. There's not even a reference to, like, James confusing her for Mary, which in the game is how Maria was introduced.
I can't believe it. You could be her twin.
But don't worry, instead, James just kind of stares at her like a fucking idiot.
Are you just gonna keep on staring, or are you gonna say something?
Wow, congrats guys, you truly were snubbed for the Oscars this year. Oh, and by the way, get this, it took me until this scene to realize that the movie made James and Mary no longer married.
I'm looking for the hospital.
Why?
Because my girlfriend's there.
Wait. What the fuck do you mean they aren't married? One of the most basic fucking things about the original game, and you somehow got that wrong? Coming soon, the Christoph Gans Mirror's Edge movie is just walking on the sidewalk for 2 hours. You know what else is stupid? This Has-Been Hotel-ass dialogue.
You look fucked.
We then get yet another really abrupt flashback of Mary being involved in cult shit and doing weird cult things, with James randomly seeing it for some reason and being forced to watch like a cuck, in which I relate to James because I too feel like a cuck, except instead of it being my wife turned girlfriend thanks to this shitty script I'm watching, I'm instead watching my intelligence get fucked right in front of me. I also don't own the new Mario Kart, so that's also a difference. As you can probably guess by now, none of this is in the game, because if it were, it would be really fucking stupid. Case in point, this fucking movie. Anyways, interspliced with all of this is James and Maria at the hospital, where Maria is turned into an exposition dump because fuck you and fuck everyone and fuck the whole earth, and turns out Mary's dad is the leader of the Silent Hill cult. Sadly, I don't give a shit anymore.
There was this religious group. old school Silent Hill crazies.
Like Mario and Princess Peach.
Anyway, sadly, back to the movie. James has the mental breakdown and the Silent Hill becomes the spooky. Oh, hey, look, it's the nurses. And you know what? I will give 1 point to Christoph Gans here. For both this movie and the first Silent Hill movie, he hired professional dancers for the nurses. That way they can more unnaturally contort their bodies. That's honestly really cool. Too bad he put them in like only one scene where they're all huddled together in a pack like fucking penguins. So all the cool dancer contortion shit is not really like highlighted at all. And of course, because Christoph Gans is just changing the meaning of the game now entirely, the nurses are no longer a symbol for sexual repression anymore. Now they're just creepy, scary nurses. Because, you know, when you get down to it, all Silent Hill really is just a big old haunted house, right? Bye-bye, symbolism. Nobody liked you, I guess. Also, Maria is stabbed by the nurses in the elevator, which is a pretty minor change compared to her getting straight up murked by Pyramid Head. And she doesn't even actually die in this scene.
What?
Look, okay, you get it. The film's an awful adaptation. I've kind of been saying that for the past, like, 30 minutes or whatever. But from this point onwards, the film just goes off the rails, which is saying a lot because this thing was never on rails in the first place. Like, we've lost the plot by the first minute of it, but somehow the film just loses the plot even further. So let's try to finish the review up. So James leaves Maria behind while she heals up, where it's only now we get the line that she looks like Mary.
You can say it.
What? The N-word? But you're white.
Look just like her.
Oh, yeah, sure. So they recontextualize the whole Maria looks like Mary thing to be romantic, even though Silent Hill 2 isn't a love story. But anyways, James goes out and encounters Laura, who is mad at James for being horny towards Maria, despite the fact that in the source material, none of the characters outside of James know about Maria. No, but actually, that's really stupid and dumb, though. No, you see, Laura has to be a manifestation of Silent Hill instead, and she has to have a creepy baby for no fucking reason. Yeah, it turns out that bear she's carrying around is actually a baby.
My baby's sad.
Now, why is Laura carrying around a decaying baby in her arms?
Sad because nobody loved him. Just like Mary.
Who gives a shit? I don't care. No, what I actually care about is Laura screaming at James with a reverb.
You left her all.
Today we explore the twisted mind of Christoph Gans as he teaches you how to make a scary sound. Bonjour, my name is Christoph Gans and I will show you scary sound. I have voice clip here. And it says, sometimes I shove Pringles up my urethra! Very scary, but not quite scary enough. What do you want? You get reverb. To reverb. How do you say delay in a French accent? Put them together and you have... Sometimes I shove Pringles up my urethra! And that is a look into Christoph Gans' twisted mind. So we get some more bullshit, which is, you know, what the whole movie is, basically.
Why are you doing this?
Because the Rick Ross fungus is mobile, James. James then gets jump scared by a bed, which I thought was maybe the Flesh Lips or the Abstract Daddy, until I see, this thing. Hey, stop laughing at this. Do you know how hard it is to resurrect Michael Jackson for this scene? But then abruptly, James wakes up in the hospital. That's right, Silent Hill 2 was all in the head the entire time. James's therapist then comes in and is all like, James, you gotta let go of your wife. This transitions into another flashback, god damn it, where James tells Mary to move out because she's part of the cult, resulting in an attempt at an emotionally tough scene.
Why are you sitting in the dark?
I'm aura-maxing, Mary.
You think I'm scared?
I am not scared!
I played Five Nights at Freddy's without the guide, Mary! I think the worst part about this scene is how fucking stupid the context is. These two are having a marriage-style dispute over a fucking generic horror movie cult.
Say it. Say I'm disgusting, G. Say it!
I mean, he saw you eating babies in the cult or whatever. I think there's like a dissonance here.
That day, I was leaving.
Bitch, we saw the flashback and you were crowd surfing. No, James, you don't understand. I was at the Deadspin concert. Cut back to the hospital where we get the worst 80-yard lines ever.
Mary died after their breakup.
Bro, you are not saying that shit. James, you seem to be suffering from an early life crisis. What? An early life crisis, James. You're suffering from an early life crisis. James, please stop! You're not Deadspin! Not too quick to the left! James, not too quick to the left! But turns out the hospital isn't real. Oh my god, who could have guessed this very obvious twist? So abruptly we're back with Maria, and the two of them start making out, and I start slamming my head into a desk somewhere. And Maria wants James to stay, but he doesn't, so he goes to the elevator, and she keeps begging him to stay. But they go down the elevator anyways, because James is a strong man who don't need no woman. And the elevator leads them to a maze, because Christoph Gans has a maze fetish.
Mary's not dead. Not to me.
You know, I think Christoph Gans is adapting the wrong game. He should have been put on the Force Unleashed 2 movie.
Your feelings for her are not real.
They are real to me!
James then kills Maria, I think. He says you're in my way to her and puts his hands on his head, which summons a pyramid ahead, killing Maria, and James is doing it, I think. Then it cuts to James with a fucking fake beard and he's painting. I think Christoph Gans is adapting the wrong game. He should be adapting the Blob 2 instead. James then wakes up in front of the Lakeview Hotel, which is on fire for some reason, because I guess the part where you row your boat for 5 minutes was too slow. Yeah, that would never work in a movie. Anyways, a 2.5-minute Evangelion elevator scene. Laura then comes out like a 2009 YouTube video, and we get the most baffling part of this fucking movie. Because you see, Laura tells James to recall Mary's full name.
What's Mary's full name?
And her full name is, I'm not kidding you, Mary Angela Laura Crane. So every single female character in the original game has just become another version of Maria. This includes the character who in the original game was a CSA victim. This right here is the most offensive part of the movie to me, because I can't think of anything more gross and vile towards CSA survivors than to grind down one of the best portrayals of a CSA victim down into another spooky ghost wife, who tells James he can rebound to her if he doesn't find his real wife, which is like the complete fucking opposite of everything that Angela is in the original game. What kind of message does this give to CSA survivors? That's my question. That's right, abuse victims. All you're good for is getting in the sexy man's way of his hot smoking babe wife and his crusade to save her. This is vile. This is gross. You should be ashamed of this. On top of that, it's also incredibly fucking lazy. Any non-fan of Silent Hill is just gonna roll their eyes at this, which is again insulting because the original game was extremely thought-provoking. Why did anyone think this was a good idea? What the fuck is wrong with you?
These assignments don't matter. This course doesn't matter. College doesn't matter.
Speaking of Angela, the film is not done ruining her. That's right. Oh god. Because now we kind of get the abstract daddy scene. So here's the thing. Mary's dad, who ran the Silent Hill cult, abused her. Sadly, the film is so incoherent, I could barely even tell. Which, by the way, how do you fuck up being incoherent in a Silent Hill movie? It's like the one franchise you're supposed to be incoherent in. But anyways, you see some hands come out of this bed here, and James is like, I can save you. I can save you. And now because Angela is Mary, this is meant to be seen as a good thing. Which, wow, goes against the whole fucking point of the game.
Nuke the whole generation.
Angela had to save herself, and she chose not to. And you sure as fuck couldn't, because you can't save yourself either. And that was the point. I'm going to actually crash out like crazy. I want to die. James then gets dragged down to the abstract daddy room, and here he is, the abstract daddy, looking a lot less abstract than he originally did. Now, isn't this just symbolic? The creature called the Abstract Daddy was designed to be less abstract. This irony is so insane I could die. James then runs up this fiery staircase. You know, the one Angela went up and that you couldn't go up? Yeah, James runs up it. This movie is like the full version of that Gandhi 2 bit from UHF.
He's out to kick some butt.
So James then heads upstairs and we get one last flashback. This time to Mary in the hospital bed. And as one final fuck you, they downplay the twist. They downplay James killing Mary to where now Mary wants James to kill her so that she isn't thinking of her father anymore. So Silent Hill 2 just straight up isn't an exploration of guilt anymore, because now James killing Mary is justified because it was a mercy killing. In other words, they gutted out the entire fucking point of the game. What are we doing here? I'm not shitting you. This is the worst shit I have ever seen scene. How do you leave out the point the original work was making in the first place?
Nuke the whole generation.
I'm actually completely speechless here. They ruined Silent Hill 2 in one of the most, baffling ways possible. You know what? Fuck it. Let's give other works of fiction the Christoph Gans treatment. Imagine, Christoph Gans, Marty Supreme. Rachel, listen, okay? It's me, Marty Supreme, the main character of the movie. I have been fucking up really bad the entire movie, and I want to apologize. Oh, wow, Marty, you may be a flawed character, even though we downplayed all your flaws, because you were really doing it for your sick mom! But I forgive you, because I see in your heart you are a good person, Marty. Oh, I'm crying. It's tears of joy, because my child is born now. There's no nuance, no self-reflection, no kind of personal meaning you could take from this. It's everything Silent Hill 2 wasn't. And worst of all, it's not even a good story, just a period. It's bad. I'm still just in awe. How does this even happen? We do get the funniest shot of the movie, though, here. They get some bullshit. I don't really give a shit. I'm done with this. And we get the in-water ending, except it's not a black screen. It's just the car crashing in the water. But then suddenly James wakes up in the beginning of the movie when he meets Mary and chooses to take her to the city, I guess. I think it's a loop theory thing where James chooses not to take her to Silent Hill, thus, closing the whole loop and all that. But you know what was cool about the loop theory? It was a theory. It was one, at best, implied way of interpreting a very intentionally abstract game. And isn't that just a perfect summary of this thing? It is removing the abstract from an abstract source material, with this ending just being the underwhelming cherry on top. Get this fucking shitty-ass, dog water garbage away from me. Thank God that is over. That was the worst thing I have ever seen in my fucking life. This movie hates its source material and your intelligence at the same time. This narrative is no longer one about characters going through guilt, how characters deal with guilt, how you would deal with guilt. No, instead, the film thematically treats you like a fucking child. There are so many changes and all of them are for the absolute worst. So as a result, this film takes one of the most poignant and powerful games ever made and turns it into a movie about nothing, to the point where it gets straight up offensive. It's not even funny bad. You can't even enjoy it with your friends. I know from experience. I think overall the biggest misreading Christoph Gans gave was again thinking that Silent Hill 2 is a love story. It isn't. And we could sit here and talk about why that is in the game itself, but I think this movie is exactly why that is. Because when you remove what Silent Hill 2 is actually about, trauma and grief and what you do with that, the entire narrative just falls apart. And of course, Christoph does way more damage to the story than that, but I think you get the point now. Christoph Gans fundamentally does not understand Silent Hill, and he should do what I think he does best, staying the fuck away from it. In conclusion, I'm deeply sorry, Silent Hill HD Collection.
Fuck you in the lanes you came with. Me and you ain't on the same shit. You ain't in my lane, bitch, nah. Throw that shit in fifth, rollie on my wrist. Ay, baby, you a star, I'm my only wish. I'm counting blue hundreds, I'm too money. Ay, and my little bitch, she too lovely. Yeah, hanging up and calling me right back. Ay, baby, why you calling me like that? Yeah, getting high with the seat, lay back. Baby, gon' relax, yeah. Hey, they don't know the half, yeah. No matter what happened, I got your back. Baby, that's the facts, yeah. That's the facts, yeah. And we can fight, but the feeling's gone. I try to find the words, but they never come. I can still see you on the lawn. Hey, laying outside in the summer sun. Yeah, we can fight, but the feeling's gone. I try to find the words, but they never come. I can still see you on the lawn. Hey, laying outside in the summer sun. Hey, I'm with a dark-skinned girl on a Sunday. That's that Black Sabbath. She put them ones all down on a Hyundai, and she had to have it. Baby, that's the facts, yeah. That's the facts, yeah.
Mary, I'm so sorry for what I've done. James, did you know the Cuban Missile Crisis was a 13-day confrontation between the governments of the U.S. and the Soviet Union? Mary.
Weezy out of here. Weezy out of here.